Hi, this is Charlie, and welcome to Friday's live trading. It's the last Friday session that I'm doing for a couple of weeks because I'm off on vacation tomorrow, so I won't be around next week. But funnily enough, back the following because we're only away for 10 days. So yeah, it's only what next week I'm missing. Right, okay, it's only fairly early. It's just 20 to 8 at the moment. So we're just having a look through the markets at the moment, and then we'll come back once we find something. Okay, just back, and I'm pushing it a little bit here this morning because the markets have all had great runs overnight again, and so they've already had good runs, and so to get on to the long side at these high altitude, if I actually take this to an hourly chart, you'll see what I mean. We've had these lovely runs up here. This on the euro. So take this back to a 5-minute chart. Um, to get long here, is it going to break up to another new high this morning? It could do, but it's more about, well, where do you place your stop if you are going to get long? You're going to have to place a stop. We're trying to do small intraday trades here, obviously in these live trading videos. So I probably will be leaving that, but I've just spotted a little intricacy that's taking place at the moment. In that we've got the 5-minute 50, which is this white moving average here above us, and we've got the 5-minute 21, as you can see here, or 20, whichever moving average you use, both similar, just above as well. And we've got the new fresh 8 a.m. pivot has just come in right at that level as well, pretty much. So if the euro was to just blip up to there, I may short that and then see if it can have a little bit of a push down. But I'll be micromanaging it a little bit because I don't have a big view for a big move to the downside. So I'd be like getting a unit off, after a short while, and so on and so, and then just properly micromanaging the trade really, if it can do that. And I'll just try and get away with a stop just up at 85. So we'll try and keep it fairly tight here, but I don't have a great view. I don't even have negative momentum, which I would normally be looking for if I was going to be shorting something. So I don't even have that. But the momentum is waning on the hourly time frame, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has to go down. So, but nevertheless, I'm trying to find a trade here this morning, and on my last morning for a week or week and a half. So I will give that one a shot with a few units, and I have to go in with a few units here because of I will need to be banking some profits along the way, and so I need to have those individual units in place. So let's just see if it can do a little blip up here. Now it could be over very quickly because if it decides that actually it wants to resume the trend and continue higher, then again the trade will be over quite quick. But let's just see. So I'm just waiting for it to come up to that level now, and see if I can get some entries. So the first target would probably be this dotted blue line, which it's been air kissing here on the 5-minute chart. That'd probably be my first target, which would be about maybe 15 pips by looks of things. So but let's see if it can get up there first of all, and I'll watch the price action as it goes up there, because sometimes if it goes up fast, then there won't be much point in just hitting it straight away. But let's just see. I'll press pause for a second here. Okay, at the moment, as we can see, the euro's just come off anyway, so it's not quite got up to that level. And it's come off anyway. So back to the drawing board. We'll keep watching. Okay, what I'm going to do instead is the euros come off. If I change this to the pound's a similar sort of pattern. I need to get in fairly quick, so shorting it here, the pound. Got one unit in at 28. Let's get another unit in. And if I can get, so I've got 2 units in so far. I'm going to pop a stop just above this high here, so not too far away, about whatever that's at, 43, let's say. This is basically where it came up and just came up into the 5-minute 50, and then the 8 a.m. pivot was a bit above, and it just overshot that slightly and has rolled off. So just going to see if we've got a similar sort of pattern here in the pound dollar. Now we do have some news coming out this morning. We've got industrial manufacturing production news, is it, this morning? So let me have a look. But I'm not too concerned about holding through that. So we'll just see if there's some points to be made on the short side of the pound today. As far as target's concerned, there's some levels that I'll be looking at. So we'll we'll see how those go. But we'll wait and see if it comes down first. So I've only got 2 units in so far because it started coming off. I'd have rather got in just that little bit closer to 30, but I'd only just looked at the charts prior to turning the recording back on. So 2 units are short now, around about 28 on the pound. Now, like similarly with the euro, it's one of those sort of trades where it's going to be fairly micromanaged today, not looking for huge amounts of pips. Unfortunately, so because I'm aggressively going into this, and so it could have a half decent rundown, of course, but I've not really been. It's always possible I might leave a final portion to see if it has a run, but other than that, I'd want to get something banked, just in case it does want to come up and then breaks new highs again or whatever. So anyway, so stop placement is going to be up there. So 43. Okay, I'll press pause. That's why I'm doing this. Okay, so if we get a little bounce here, we are. So I'll get a couple more units in. So I wanted to get up to 4 units in today. This isn't. It's not a big stop on this. So I've got a third unit in now. Do I want to get a fourth unit in? Well, okay. At the moment, I've got the third unit in. You saw I just hit that at 28.9. I got filled at that. So let's call that roughly 29. So let's get the stop in on that one as well. So 131.43. So for now, I've got 3 units in, and like I say, this is speculative, but it's speculative, but with a pretty tight stop. So don't get me wrong, I'd still lose a few £100 on it, but it's still a fairly tight stop here. So just watching to see. Just going to have a quick look at euro dollar across off screen again. Yeah, it's sort of holding down a little bit. It's had a little blip down. Now the pound may just hold up now as we have got that news coming out. So it could just play around. So it's more just a case of, do I want to put another unit in? I do really. So I'm going to put a fourth unit in today. Because I know that one, I've got relatively tight stops, so cost-wise it'll be £400 maybe. And likewise, I'm not going to be looking for big targets, so I know that the risk reward isn't big. Maybe on a final target, but other than that, it's not a big risk reward. So, I might as well put some bigger, more units in, and have 4 units there. So, okay, so that's that done. 131, and this could all be over very quickly, of course. But I'm trying to find something out of a bit of air here today. But at the same time, I'm not just, I still see it's got divergences in the background on the hourly charts on this pound dollar. So I know we have those in the background. There's some other factors which it could mean it could want to come lower. So as well. So even though the trend overall has been really good, there's some divergences there, and it may want to come off a little bit. So I'll press pause for now, and we'll see what happens. Okay, and so I have just been stopped out of the pound. So it was always a bit more speculative, but obviously there's still always reasons behind the trades. But nevertheless I've been stopped, so I'm just taking a screenshot of the trade. So these were the entries: 27, 27.3, 28.9 and 29.9, and they all got stopped out at 43, giving me a net loss of £465. I said it'd be a few £100 where I put the fourth unit in, so it's always going to be about 400 or so. So a loss there. I won't stop the video just yet, just in case something crops up as we go through the morning. But we'll see. But it could well be that that's the only trade I take. But we'll see. You never know. Okay, just back, and this is still the chart of the pound. And from earlier on today, when it was sort of consolidating and looked like it was potentially going to have this pullback, it's turned it around, and it's obviously, you can see it's having a nice trend. Just chatting with the guys in the trading room here. What time is it? It is quarter to midday. We've done something called an extreme play, and if you go back over the videos, I don't know how long in the past, but I've done extreme plays on these Friday videos before. And so what we're going to be looking for is a little pullback to then see if it can take us back up to this closing price here, at least anyway. So let's just see if we can get that. I've got momentum across the board is up. I was just saying before I noticed this extreme play that I was saying, oh no, it's gone too far, and quite often when a market's already gone too far, I'm not too fussed about trying to get in. But in fact, we've got a particular setup that's just come along. So if it can do enough of a pullback, it's going to have to pull back to sort of sub 131.80 because the target is only at 87. So it's going to have to have pulled back to sub 131.80 just to make it worthwhile. It doesn't need a huge stop on it. So so that's what we're looking out for. So we'll press pause. Okay, just back, and we got the pullback, but it just didn't pull back far enough. We needed it to pull back sub 80 to warrant taking the trade. So it's actually satisfied the minimum criteria already. So it would have needed to have come back to 80. Then I would have I was just saying to the guys, would have probably just held on to it anyway. There's some other levels a bit higher up, and see if we just get that breakout again. But it's a nice little setup, the extreme, as I was saying to the guys. But sometimes the market just doesn't quite pull back far enough to warrant getting the entry. So nevertheless, okay, so I've missed out there on that one. So it's an interesting morning actually, because the first thing this morning, it was going to be a euro dollar short, which was up. Would have been up. Where was it? It would have been up here at this 5-minute 50, would have had a nice little pullback, would have got something out of it. Even though it's coming up now, it would have at least been, something would have been banked off of that. So at the same time, ended up taking the cable at the same time, set up instead, because euro didn't set up, and that one didn't work out. So and as we can see, cables ended up having a really good run. And then even here at this latter stage here, missed out on this extreme play. So some people will say, well, why didn't you get in down here? Maybe on this play here. I don't think I was too fussed about cable at that point. It wasn't really, the price structure wasn't that exciting at that point. It's only once it's had this move up that then it's got more interesting again. But as we can see, it's gone. So it's now basically at 132. So I've tried, but the market's just not giving it to me. So that's about it. I'll call it a wrap on today's video. So see you in 2 weeks.